Demographics are important. If you look at world trends in population, who can tell me today, this is for a steak dinner, who can tell me today what the population in the world is? What is the population in the world today? First person to tell me, I will buy a steak dinner. No takers? Yes, sir. How many? 7,223,122. Who's going to argue with that figure? I was so impressed by our first speaker today. Our first speaker today, if you'll notice, he carried every number down to the last digit. And if he used only two numbers, he always had a point something. Point, a percentage point. He knows that if you remember nothing from my speech today, remember this. Always take a figure out to the last digit, and no one will ever argue with you. If you use only two digits, if you say 92, always say point something, and no one will ever argue with you. But, sir, if you say 7 billion, then someone's always in the back of the room going to say, no, no. But I owe someone a steak dinner over here. I'll pay, too. The problem with world population growth, 7 billion now. 2025, 9 billion. 2050, 13 billion. And then it starts coming down. Why? I'm not sure. But between now and 2050, we have some serious problems, both in the developing and the developed world. In the developing world, look at the number. The developing world that has the most youth, we call youth bulge, and lack of employment opportunities, and the developed world, aging populations with not enough youth to pay for Social Security benefits, for... Next slide, please. I'll show you. I'm not going to concentrate on the developed world. That's not today's talk. But in the youth glut in the developing world is very important. Very important. Because unemployed youth, if there's any policemen in this, any policemen in here, raise your hand. Any policemen? If you ask any policeman what is most troubling to him, it will be unemployed youth. Because why? Because they have nothing positive to do, and they only get in trouble. Only get in trouble. So, some states, more than 60% of the population is under the age of 29. I don't know what the situation is in Sri Lanka, but my guess is you might have a youth bulge problem here. I'm only guessing. Certainly in Pakistan, sir, you have a problem. So where are the jobs for youth bulge? And what will the youth do without jobs? Next slide. There are some criticisms. Today we've heard very positive presentations about the Sri Lankan experience. We've also heard from our Indian friend and a couple other questions that Sri Lanka has perhaps a bit of an image problem internationally. These quotations are taken from reputable papers, Washington Post, New York Times, others. I don't know if these are true or not, but this, today we've heard what the pictures portray. Military services helping people. Some in the media project a different image, and the image as I've depicted here. I make no judgment. I make no judgment. But I will say that I think Sri Lanka has a strategic communication challenge. Strategic communication challenge to tell the rest of the world or convince the rest of the world about what I've heard here today. And I might not be the right audience. I might not be the right audience. Next slide. So, my presentation today was supposed to be about learning from the past to project the future. So I'm going to talk about a situation in my country. And I came upon this particular topic one day in the forest in Oregon, walking with my dog. I have a vacation home in Oregon, and I happen to walk my dog a lot in the forest, and I was walking along and actually thinking about what I was going to say today. And I got tired. My dog's old now. I'm old now. We get tired. And so I sat down on a bridge. You know what a bridge? Small bridge, small road over a stream. I sat down on this bridge, and I looked, and there was a plaque. It said, built by the CCC, 1936. And it just hit me that the CCC, or Civilian Conservation Corps, in my country was the largest civil military operation, perhaps in the world of all time. Many in this room have never heard of it. Even young American officers, when I asked them about it today, they had not heard of it. But it was a major factor in construction in my country during the Great Depression. It is the most popular public service project ever in my country. But few now remember it or understand what it was. So I thought it might be informative for the next 10 minutes to explain to you what this public service project, the CCC, achieved. More importantly, for this audience, it was run by the United States Army. In total, run by the United States Army. Non-lethal, no weapons, run by the Army. Next slide. This was the logo of the CCC. This is just sort of a general overview. Every CCC, the ages were from 17 to first 23 and then 25. They earned $30 a month. These are $1942, though. And interestingly, the CCC workers, they wore uniforms, lived in barracks, lived in military style, had formations every morning. They made $30 a month. They got 5. The other 25 went to their families. So money was infused into the system. Okay? All of their meals, everything was, requirements were provided for. What did it achieve? Well, strategically, the participants in this program, 2.5 million of them over a 10-year period, learned about their country, got to appreciate the United States Army in a very, very positive way. Positive way. And they did great service, construction service for the United States. Next slide. Just some items. Planted 3 billion trees, constructed 800 parks, updated forest fire methods, built a network of service buildings. Most of the buildings built by these young men are still standing today. The construction was that good. Next slide. Some facts. 1933 to 1942, total cost $3 billion. Allotments to dependents,